Ladies and gentlemen, Lab After Dark is starting shortly. Lab After Dark is starting soon. Lab After Dark is starting soon.
Right.
Well, you opened that Pandora's door.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever, you know.
What's the point in causing an eruption?
What's up?
Lab After Dark
Welcome.
starts now.
Welcome to Lab After Dark. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. Good to see you. Even better to be here. Good to see you. Good to be seen. Good. Good all around. I have an aunt. It's really fun. She picked this up later in life. I don't know if it's like a nervous habit or whatever it is, but whenever she asks me something, or anybody for that matter, she says, well, good. Or, you know, it's just like sometimes there's 4 in a row, sometimes there's 7 in a row, but and they're at different cadences, you know. Good, or good. I don't know why, but she does it, and I always found that funny. But that's sort of a newer phenomenon. I don't know where she got it from. I don't know. I've known her all my life. Didn't start happening until recently. But good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. What's happening in the United States, Dale? Good to see you. It's interesting to be here. Thank you. And it's an interesting evening already. All right, let me say what's up. I don't know where Mary is, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. She might stop in. Too. Nah, there was just some things that I was like reading about, and what's up, Holly? Good to see you. You're waiting on a solar eclipse in the UK. It should be about 30 minutes. I'll keep you updated. When is that? That's happening in about 30 minutes. That's interesting. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit more as we get into it. What up, Rusty? What did you say? Nothing like working for 12-hour days on vehicles just to get stiff. Did you don't take at least half up front, really? I mean, that's people are scummy. Honestly, you know, I don't blame you at all. I think people are terrible people when they do shit like that. And they do. I mean, it's kind of common in the I don't know, freelance working world. But terrible. So sorry to hear that, brother. It is good to be here. That's exactly what she would sound like. Good. I don't know. I just remember whenever I would, like, I never dealt with cars or anything like that, but like when I ran my business, and you would always have to take, you know, if somebody were to place like a large order for something, you would at least take 50% up front. But I don't know how that works with cars, because I guess you probably don't know how much you're going to charge them. So, but I mean, I think that any sort of deposit would probably be a good idea going forward. I just, like I said, I don't know how that would work, and I've never worked on cars, so I don't want to give you crappy information. But just a terrible thing. And let's see. What's up, Midnight Dragonfly? Good to see you. How are you? Wonderful. I don't know if any of you saw this, or if maybe some of you know who he is and some of you don't, but there's a football coach his name is Bill Belichick. He was the coach of the New England Patriots for the better part of 20-something years. And some people say, arguably, that he's the greatest coach of all time. I don't think so. I think he ended up with like one of the greatest competitor quarterbacks of all time. And so that would make you a good coach. I heard a really, really good coach one time say, like they asked him, they said, what's your secret to being a good coach? And he said, get good players. And that's true. It's a very true statement, you know, because if you don't have like a quarterback, you suck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. Like you could teach how to walk on water and it's not going to matter that much. You have to have good players. So that being said, I always thought that he was sort of an overrated coach. And then he just, you know, then he starts dating this like 25-year-old, I guess she was. He's like in his 70s. I mean, he looks like a bag of milk, like a shape-shifting bag of milk. I mean, he looks just, I mean, he's 70, 70, I don't know. I think he's over 70, but he's just this like doughy, pear-shaped, mumbling, visor wearing, you know, shit face having. I mean, he's just like always got this, you know, mug on, shit like that. Yeah, but Midnight Dragonfly, are you dating a 24-year-old? I'm just saying, it's not the age. What I'm saying is that he's too old. First of all, he's too old to be dating a lady of that age. All right, I'll show you Bill Belichick. He's a pudgy, pear-shaped loser. I mean, he's really just not. He's ugly. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Yeah, I'll show you a picture of him right here. All right, so here he is with his. I mean, he's got a lot of Super Bowls, like 6, I guess, 6 Super Bowls maybe. Okay, so that's his girlfriend. That's him. Okay, now, whatever. You know, look, fine. You know, if you think they're a cute couple, perfect. I don't care about that. But he started dating her, and he's now like he got fired or he got released from the Patriots, or you got whatever fired, whatever it is you want to call it, right? He's rich. He's rich. Now he's the coach at North Carolina. He's the football coach at North Carolina. Makes a huge salary, probably somewhere in $25 million a year. He's one of the higher paid coaches of all time. You know, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. And somebody said, don't be jealous. So yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of him. I'm 40, and I wouldn't date a 25-year-old. And that's a fact. I would not. I promise you, I would not. I wouldn't even consider it. But good for him. Okay, great. Well, anyway, during the Hall of Fame, there was a Hall of Fame ceremony this weekend, or last weekend. And of all things, a kicker named Adam Vinatieri gets into the Hall of Fame, which is, I guess if a kicker belongs in the Hall of Fame, it would probably be Adam Vinatieri. And if you know anything about NFL kickers, they're supposed to be some of the weirdest guys ever. And they're sort of part of the team, but they're not, like punters, kickers. Like they just like, you know, they have lower testosterone than everybody else and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Good enough, right? That's just the, you know, and I've heard this from many, many, many different people. And so anyway, Adam Vinatieri, who kicked for Bill Belichick for years and years and won a bunch of Super Bowls with him, gets up on stage and he's giving his speech and he's thanking all these people and he's talking about Bill Belichick and he's saying he's one of the greatest coaches that ever coached. But for some reason, Bill couldn't bring him. I don't know why Bill Belichick didn't go to the Hall of Fame ceremony. But during Adam Vinatieri's speech, he ends up saying, Coach Belichick would have liked to have been here this evening, but he was judging his girlfriend's cheerleading competition. And you're just like, dude. I mean, this is a guy that was his, you know, subordinate for I don't know. I don't even know how long. It just lays into him in front of the entire Hall of Fame class, you know. And I was just like, I mean, that was just unbelievable. But I don't, you know, it's so strange. You know, the 77. How old? I don't even know. Let me find out how old is he. He's how old is Bill Belichick? He's 74. Okay, so he's older than I thought. And how old is his girlfriend? She was born in 2001. She's 25. So she's younger. She's actually younger than I thought. There's a 49-year age gap. So he was 49 years old. So he was 9 years older than I am right now when she was born. Think about that. She was 40, or he was 49, knocking on the door of 50 years old when she was being birthed in a hospital somewhere. Think about that. And tell me that that's not mental. That is not normal behavior, folks. I got to be honest with you. I know she's an adult, and you know, it's what rich old men do. You know, it's not all. That's, you know, but it seems to happen more often than 49 years. Holy shit, man. That's wild. I even heard once, this is that she would make him take pictures. She would make him take pictures for her, like, Instagram while he was on the beach, or while she was on the beach. She would like pose, and he would be snapping photos of her. He coached football. I don't know if he played or not. Probably. If he did, he probably sucked. But so they started dating in 2020. So when they started dating, she was 20. She was 20. 22. She was 22 years old. Oof. I wonder if it's a run out the clock situation. Like I wonder if that's what that is. Let me see here. I wonder if that's what's going on here. I mean, he doesn't look great. I don't think she yeah, well, she'd be changing both. She'd be changing 2 sets of diapers for sure. Just, I mean, I don't know. I just find it, I find it odd. But I just thought it was really funny that that guy said he couldn't be here. It's just a really odd. Odd thing. I don't know. And thank you, Midnight Dragonfly. Josh, I can't. Oh, my God. Chloe, how are you? Good to see you. Are you thinking similar to Anna Nicole Smith? Yeah, kind of. Although, I think Anna Nicole Smith's situation was even worse because that guy looked like the Crypt Keeper. That guy was horrendous. At least Bill Belichick's still sort of upright, you know. I mean, sort of upright. And Lucky Duck 1965 became a YouTube member. Thank you. Appreciate it. And gifted a Lab After Dark membership. Simply Investigating. Good to see you. Thank you for becoming a member. Midnight Dragonfly for 17 months. Thank you very much for being a member. Charlotte's Webbing member for 6 months. Thank you as well. In the United States, Dale became a YouTube member as well. Appreciate you, man. And Cinders. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Well, I mean, I don't like, it's pretty hard not to judge something like that. I mean, come on. I mean, be honest. Be honest. I mean, I have children that are close to her age. Like within 3 years of her age. I would not want my son if he was a daughter. And that's a whole different conversation that we can have on a different day. Or a man. It just, you know, look, I mean, it's just too much to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe that's just me. My name deceives people. Is it the Jason? Maybe you're watching Jason Watcher. Actually, a woman last summer, a much younger man, pursued me relentlessly, and we had a summer fling. Wonder, that's nice, good. I hadn't dated anyone in 15 years. We had a 30-year age difference. So let's just say you were 60. I'm not saying that's how old you were, or 50, and he was 20. I mean, it's not 74 and 25. Now, I could never date anybody younger than me. I mean, I think maybe 10 years would be the max at the most. Maybe. But I just don't think it could. But we're talking about a 50 years. So add another 20 years to that. Add another 20 years to that. Damn, I don't know. All right, well, look, hey, I'm just saying. Those are age gaps, big ones. But come on, like the 74 and what else? 74, 25. I mean, that's, that's extreme. Yeah, there has been, I guess there have been issues on YouTube where if you like if the screen goes black or there's no sound, you can't go out and come back in, but it's a glitch with YouTube. 50 years old's a lot, man. 50-year-old age gap is insane to me. Not even a little. Not at all. Not even remotely picking on anybody. I'm picking on I'm picking on the age gap. I think it's I just think it's a crazy age gap. And I don't think it's that crazy of a take either. I really don't think it's that outlandish. I mean, even even the person that just said that they had the 30-year. Okay, fine. Even I think that's extreme, like a big age gap. But that add another 20 years to that. It's not about trying it. It has nothing to do with trying. It has everything to do with, I don't know. It's odd. I just find it, yeah, dude. Yeah, if some 30-year-old tried to date my grandma, I'd beat the shit out of him. Swear to God. That's it. It's not happening. Like a 32, that'd be like a 32-year-old guy trying to date my grandma. There'd be some furniture moving. I'm just telling you, there would be. There would be a confrontation at the door. I don't care if he's like, let's go to church. It's, dude, I'm baptizing you majorly. Big time. That's it, dude. I mean, you're done. Well, I appreciate it. Look, I'm just saying that it was a funny joke that the greatest coach in history allegedly got smoked at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and I found that funny. 50 years is not, 50 years is weird, man. It's weird. It's just a weird thing. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that I was watching the Hall of Fame thing and he said that and then it made me think about it again. It's not like I burn on this. Not like I'm going, I can't believe I don't wake up every day going, Bill Belichick's dating a lady that's 50 years younger than him. It just kind of came back into my thoughts when I was watching it and I was like going, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's sick shit. That's what I thought. That's what happened. It's not something that I go to sleep thinking about or wake up thinking about. I'm just saying that, like, you know, I don't know if I can't. The only way that I would be able to do that. So if I dated somebody 50 years older than me, they would be 90. So you want me to date? Because I can't date somebody 50 years younger than me because they'd be -10. They wouldn't exist. I would have to date a 90-year-old. Does that put it into perspective for you? Does that make it any more clear? Are you picking up the cards that I'm laying down? These people don't exist. And I can't imagine a 90-year-old lady wanting to date me. At all. She's got other things to worry about, folks. I can guarantee you that. And so do I. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. So, interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about. Please hit that like button on the way in. And would appreciate it very much. You're just nervous about dating, period. You avoid the topic. I'm not nervous about dating anything or anybody. It's just this has nothing to do with being nervous. That has nothing to do with being nervous about dating. Matter of fact, you're right. I would be nervous dating a 90-year-old. You want to know why? I date quite often, every day. I date, I'm constantly dating. It's like an ongoing thing. I just date, and date some more. It's a weird thing, man. I mean, look, I don't care. 90 years old? Come on, dude. And I'm not talking about 20-year. I'm not talking about 20-year age gaps. I'm not talking about even 25-year age gaps. Hell, I wasn't even talking about 30. I'm talking about 50, and there are people arguing with me about it. You're not, it's no adventure. What kind of adventure is that? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death? Come on. Let's go here. Let's think about this, folks. Come on, let's be honest. That's the adventure? You want me to date a 90-year-old? Just to give it a go? Come on, let's think about it. Anyway, I'm being facetious, and Charlotte's right. Who really cares? It doesn't affect my life, of course. I understand. But, you know. Oh, I'm knocking it without trying it, Cali Dime. I'm going to knock it. No, it's not happening. But I will tell you this. My sister once, there was a lady that her name was, what was her name? Shirley. Shirley was, she was pushing 90, and she came over for Thanksgiving dinner. Her family was out of town. My sister was her caregiver, and she said, I'll never forget this. My sister said, Shirley, go sit at the table, you know, and I said, don't tell her where to sit. I said, you know, she gets to choose where she wants to sit. Shirley gets to choose where she wants to sit. I said, Shirley, where would you like to sit? And Shirley goes, on your lap. That's what she said. It was a fact. And she really said that. And I went, oh my God. My kids heard it. My kids' girlfriends heard it. My grandma heard it. My sister heard it. Everybody heard it. I heard it. We all heard it. But it was funny. I laughed. Yeah, I laughed. It was funny. She was quick, you know. I thought that, I mean, it was kind of funny to me. She said, I said, what do you want to say? She said, on your lap. I said, oh my God. Whoa. Holy shit. That was a bit rough. From my kitten Mayhem, look at that cat, to the After Dark Goal, Fairwinds. Well, I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for being here. Shirley's passed away now, but it was actually a very sweet thing for her to see. She was a very sweet lady, but I didn't want her to sit on my lap. And Darcy, thank you for becoming a YouTube member as well. And Dale gifting 10 Lab After Dark memberships. What do you think, Rusty? Are we there? Appreciate that, Dale. That's very kind of you. All right. So from one weird situation to the next, and this one is weirder than weird. This one actually bothers me. And as I don't know how many people are going to argue with me about this, and I don't care if they do or not. But I just read this today, and this actually did sort of bother me, I guess. But here's a headline. Chris Watts has applied to get married from prison. Now, if you remember Chris Watts, he famously annihilated his entire family one early morning, the wee hours of the morning, about 8 years ago. And so nearly 8 years after he murdered his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two young daughters, Bella and Celeste, he is in a relationship with 39-year-old Lizzie Henderson, according to reports. Henderson moved closer to him at the Dodge Correctional Institution. Prison records show she visited him 20 times in 2025 and spent Christmas Day with him in 2024. They have reportedly applied to marry through the prison system. Henderson has already started using the name Lizzie Watts. She's been seen wearing a wedding ring and filed paperwork to legally change her last name. When asked about the relationship and his crime, she said, "How it began is between me and him and God, and that he knows how she feels about what he did. He destroyed his family. Now he's trying to build a new life, a new one from a life sentence. That was her quote. So, very troubling, to say the least. And once again, it's the, I say this for the people that feel this way, that's saying that life in prison is better than the death penalty. Well, tell that to Chris Watts. Tell that to Chris Watts. Because he's about to get married, have all kinds of conjugal visits, spend Christmas Day, And by the way, can somebody explain to me, maybe, I don't know what's the difference between Chris Watts and this Lindsay lady that's on trial? What is the difference between postpartum mania and being a guy who just annihilates their entire family? That came to my mind today too, as I was thinking about it. Watching a little bit of that trial. Why is Chris Watts so hated? How is there a huge difference? I don't understand that at all. How is that a huge difference? Because he's a guy? There's a difference? I don't know. So that absolves her of what she did? I mean, I just don't see that. I've tried. I don't get it. But Watts, big difference. How is it? Explain to me though. How is it a big difference? Well, she was getting help. She was being medicated. Like a lot of people were. A lot of people get medicated. She's not the only person to have postpartum and be medicated. But I don't find it that much different. Look, I'm not an expert and I don't claim to be, but you're telling me that Chris Watts isn't insane as well? That he's not just as crazy? I would submit to you. I would submit to you that anybody that kills their family is crazy. Anybody that kills their children is crazy. Anybody. And that it's not to get on a tangent about her because the trial's still playing out and I guess it's complicated in the sense that he was that is true. He was living a double life. He was. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard one to convince a jury. And I think that a jury full of people who probably don't understand this stuff and they're going to be explained. It's going to be, I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be really weird. But anyway, I was going to get back to Chris Watts because I was just saying that I don't really understand the difference. And I know that women, a lot of women have a much different opinion about it because women have suffered from postpartum depression. I've never had postpartum depression, but I certainly have had depression, been treated for depression, post-traumatic stress, all these things. I truly have. So it's not that I don't have any sympathy for people that have, certain mental illnesses. I do. I just, you know, there's sometimes there's to me personally, sometimes it's just a bridge too far. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But let's get back to Chris Watts' sick ass here for a minute, because this guy is like the worst of the worst. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Just 1 second. Hold on. Okay. All right. All right. Hold on. Wait a minute. So, hold on. Well, I'm sort of not actually here to talk about this, but I will respond to a couple things. She acknowledged guilt immediately, okay, and tried to end her own life to punish herself. Had she died, I think you would feel differently. I wouldn't. I actually wouldn't feel differently. I can tell you that, because the kids are dead, and that's why I would feel. I wouldn't feel differently. But no, I've never had psychosis. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Yeah. No, that's the thing. He's not on death row. Chris Watts isn't on death row. He should be. He should have been put on death row. But he took a plea. He took a plea deal to save his own life. And so he spent the rest of his life in prison by pleading guilty. So, but I don't know. I don't know how he's allowed. I just thought, I don't know. I don't know how he's allowed any sort of life. Nah, I don't think that there's any possibility of that at all. I personally don't think that there's any thought of that. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, somebody that's going to marry Chris Watts she's probably mental too, right? I mean, there's a lot of mental people in the world. I mean, trust me, I that I get. I get that. I understand that. It's not that is not lost on me. Bundy got married behind. Yeah, but motive to you might be important, but I don't know like you don't have to establish motive for somebody to be found guilty of something at all. The end result is the end result, right? And there are people that do things. This is true. I know this is true. There are people that do things in a moment of blackout rage that may not have any memory of doing it. You know, so I don't know. I mean, does it though? I mean, if the end result is the same, like, wouldn't you say that somebody like Adam Lanza, I think if you think about this, that guy was crazy too. And he apparently had a horrible childhood and all these things. And I'm sure all that's true. And then he went and killed his mom and shot up a elementary school. He's crazy. Nicholas Cruz is crazy. You know, Nikki Cruz is certainly crazy. And Adam Lanza was nuts. No, not all prisons have conjugal visits. Kelly Dime, I respect what you're saying, but it's to me it's not different because you can't just say just because it's postpartum that it's different. Just because she's a woman and it was her kids, it's different. Murder is murder. I mean, it's not different. It's Chris Watts killed his kids. She killed her kids. Okay, if you want to play motive, intent, who's more crazy or who had a bigger sickness or whatever, but it's all this. Yeah, but you don't know that she didn't plan it either. Like that hasn't been established. That's just a theory. She very well could have planned it. And if you think about this as well, what I've heard is that she sent her husband away. Did she not send him out of the house? Didn't she use 3 different exercise bands to murder the children? Didn't she use the smaller one on the smallest, the medium-sized one, and then a larger one on the large child, the larger child? Didn't she do that? Didn't she look up how to kill? Did she look up how to kill? I think she did. So we don't know that she didn't plan it. That's something that still needs, I guess, to be proven. But I mean, that seems like a little bit of planning, at least on my part. Sending them out of the house. And there's some planning there, I think, at least from where I'm sitting. You know, look, like I said, I have as much. Obviously, there's something wrong with her. Obviously, there was something wrong with her. There is something wrong with her. Nobody does something like that when they're normal. I'm not trying to defend that. I'm not trying to say. I'm not trying to say that, you know, she was all there, because she obviously wasn't. But I don't think Chris Watts is there. I don't think Chris Watts is all there either. You know, I don't think any of them are. But I don't think it's that is much different. You know. It's horribly sad though, and I've known women. I've known some women that have had postpartum. I've known women that hadn't wanted to go near their children after they were born. It's just the whole thing is tragic, you know. But I don't think that the husband set her up. I really don't. You know, you're right about that. There's no doubt, man. It's such a. You think so? Probably. Well, who was it? Who's the girl that like crashed into that wall and killing her boyfriend and his friend too? And then, like, isn't she like in high demand? Isn't she in high demand? I don't know. I am curious though to see how this trial. Like, I think that it'll probably be some sort of hung jury. There's going to be people. I think there's going to be people on that jury. Just sort of like, I don't know how split this is. I don't think her husband did either. I don't know if they can marry somebody in a mental hospital, but the thing was, she won't spend the rest of her life in a hospital, mental hospital. I mean, she'd probably, you know, I don't know how long she would do, but I don't think it would be the rest of her life. You know, I don't think it would be the rest of her life. But yeah, exactly. Mackenzie Shrilla. Yeah. Apparently guys are blowing up her inbox. So it's the same thing. Who's that freakazoid from Florida? He had the tattoos on his face. I don't know why I forget these. I think what was his name? That guy sucks too. What is it? Wade. Yeah, Wade Wilson. How could they forget that name? It's just women love him too. And guys, by the way. Guys love him. Guys and girls love him. They absolutely love him. Yeah, I heard about that. I think she was an OnlyFans model. What was her name too? I watched that on Explore with Us. OnlyFans model kills Courtney Cliney. Courtney Cliney. Yeah. Pled guilty to stabbing her boyfriend to death, and she got 6 years with time served. I saw that. That was an interesting one with time served, because I think she's been in jail for 2 or 3 years already. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. I don't know. I can't believe that. Actually, I kind of could. When I heard that she took a plea deal, I knew it was going to be probably a pretty sweet deal. Why else would she take the deal? You know, I think if they would have said, like, you're going to do 25, she would have probably went to trial. And, you know what? That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that BTK has a son who doesn't have any issues, but BTK's issues were like on a whole nother level. Like, this guy is like one of the worst serial killers of all time. Like he's just I'm sure that there's like, terrible traits, but I don't know. I don't think so. How do I know what? How do I know that his son is normal? Well, because he's made a valiant effort of staying out of the spotlight and has a like a family and stuff like that. That he just, I don't know. He's, as far as I know, he hasn't been out there like killing people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. I don't know how normal any of us are, to be honest with you. I know that I'm not. And that's why when it even comes to this Lindsay case, like I get it. I get that there are people that sympathize with her and want to believe the best. And I'm not telling you what I'm saying is correct. I'm not telling you that. I promise you. What I'm telling you is how I look at it. And that's it. That's all. I'm not gonna look down on other people for feeling a different way about things. I mean, that's sort of life in general. I have respect for everybody and how they feel. So I'm just telling you how I feel because I have a show and I talk about it. And yeah, I couldn't disagree with you anymore. Yes, she did. Normal is relative, but there's a big difference between neurosis and psychosis. Yes, she's. Was it Ramsland? Maybe it wasn't Ramsland. Is it Ramsland? I'm trying to think. Who was it? Catherine Ramsland. I had her on. It's funny that I did a podcast with her, Dr. Gary, and Chris one time. She was on our show, The Witness Box. She was a really nice lady. I believe that was her. Yeah, Catherine Ramsland. She was nice. I liked her. Although she's written like 1 million books. She said it was like 70 something. Insane. Cinders, thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate her. Appreciate that for your super sticker. Well, so this is, and then I'm going to get off this topic because, I don't know, it's just dark and it's rough and not really what I do on here, but I did bring up Chris Watts and then it sort of segued there. So anyway, what I'll say is that I don't even know if this will come out right, but yes, look, I've been watching some of the trial and it's sad that I just have a problem with them putting these physicians on trial. As I'm listening to these physicians, they seem to be very much in contact with her, trying to help her. I mean, these aren't miracle workers. They're not psychics. You get in bed now. Go. Now. Come on. Get in bed. See that guy? It's a pain in the ass. She did. She lost custody of her children. No, what did your comments say? I didn't see it earlier. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Hey, Exposed the Grifter. I was watching earlier. I turned on Gray for a little bit. You got to hear this. You got to hear this. So I was watching Gray, and he's giving his theory on the Nancy Guthrie case, which is like, hilarious. And he said, "Yeah, I'll check. I haven't watched." But I got to be honest with you. So he says that he goes, I don't think that the people that committed these crimes are evil in the sense that we all think that they are. And I think they actually felt really bad for Nancy dying. That's why they wrote that second note. Okay? And you're just going, what the not evil in the sense they kidnapped a 84-year-old lady. What the hell does that mean? I mean, it's just like, it's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. They're not really, you know, they're not evil. They're not evil in the sense that we probably think that they are. What? What the hell does that mean? They're not evil. They kidnapped an 84-year-old woman out of her house. Like, holy shit. I've been watching it, Ann, and if you can't accept other people's thoughts and you think that yours is the only one, well, that's a problem. Why? People can't have their own opinion? They have to agree with you? Why is she on trial? That's because there are people that disagree about what she did. You know? Not everybody sees it the same way. That's how life works. And I have watched the trial, and I have been watching the trial, and I've followed trials for years. Many of them. Many, 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 many trials. Heard all kinds of defenses. So, you know, if you can't accept other people, then good luck. I think 90. Oh, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Peace out. All right, bye. He said that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, this guy's mental. He gets worse by the day. I don't think they're evil in the sense. And then they said the apology. I don't think they are. Well, get up in bed, both of you. Go. Up. Dude, they're so they're so bad.
Yeah, we only got 45 people here.
I think that the 94 is way overstated. It's a Gray reference. Yeah, I know. I would love if there were 94 people watching. Yeah, it's basically if she's going to be held criminally responsible, like if she's going to go to prison or, I guess a mental hospital. She's not going home. That's not happening. At least not as of now, from what I understand. It's true. They did say that. They did say that. Yeah. He was featured today. He had 160 viewers. Can you tell me what's up with his AI music? Like, what is that? What is he playing AI music for? What's the point of that? I don't get that. Damn, dude. He was on for 4.5 hours. And he still hasn't broken 1,000 views yet. That is rough. That's rough. I have 4 Frenchies now, another dog. My house is insane. 4 hours. 4 hours of torture. I know, dude. Can you imagine the people that show up there? Oh, wow. So funny. Wow, wow. Got 94 people. They're not as evil as we would think. What a dick. He makes AI songs of his pay whales. Really? No, I do not have a stroller for them. Should I get a stroller? Would you guys like this? Get in bed. Come here. Come here. Not you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Come on, get up here. Macho just reached his hand up like this. And he fell over. Josh, when do you think he will figure out why his viewers left? Never. And do you think he will leave YouTube? Not until he sucks the last bit of money that he can. When the money completely dries up, but I don't know. I don't think so. He's been on there. He's been on here a long time. Hold on. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen the I don't know. I don't know how much he makes, to be honest with you. An Otis story? I could give you an Otis story for sure. Let's see. What's a good Otis story? God, there's so many, really, to be honest. Trying to think. I remember one time he had a hold of this was when my son Ronell was here, and he had one of his socks and he was chasing him around with the sock, and Otis obviously wouldn't give the sock back because he loves taking people's socks. He's obsessed with it. Like it's like his thing. Like he's obsessed. He has to have people's socks. It's disgusting. He's like this little sock bandit, and I just hear thrashing and chasing and yelling, and I go out in the living room, and Nelly he's pulling on the sock. He's like laying on the floor and he's got his feet pushed up against the bottom of the couch trying to get leverage while Otis is up on top of the couch. So it's like this. He's leaned back and he's pulling. And Otis has it by the teeth like this. And I could hear Ronell yelling at him going, "Why do you have to do everything bad? Why do you have to do everything bad?" It's like just being dominated by a small little dog. he was so mad at him. Otis was so proud of himself. And then finally I said, let go of the sock, and he lets go of it, and then Otis starts shaking the sock incessantly, just come here, Macho. They're finally in bed, thank God. Why do you have to do everything bad? Oh, God, that was so funny. I'll never forget that. It's true. He does. And everything he does is bad. He was bad today. He had spider webs all over his head again. I know that's when he's been bad, is when he has spider webs all over his head, because that means he's outside rooting, looking under things, maybe the corners of the... He's in the corners of the yard, and he's looking for things to get in trouble with. That's what he does. He's a very facetious little shit, and that's a fact. This is a fact. They're both in bed, and I don't want to. They're finally laying down. Thank God. Yeah, that's because when they have the spider webs, that means that they're searching for things to get in trouble with. That's the truth. That's what he does. I would show you their faces, but they're just... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they do, but like it's sort of like it's sort of like a penitentiary here, because they can only have their toys at certain times, because what they do is they'll both chew on one toy, then they'll switch the toys, chew on that. Then Otis wants Macho's toy, or then Macho wants Otis's toy, and then they'll start barking at each other. So it only, like, they're only allowed the toys for like a good 45 minutes. I heard a comedian the other day. He was talking about how he had 2 French bulldogs, and he said that he described it perfectly. It would be like if a bat and a gorilla had a child, and that's sort of the perfect example. A bat and a gorilla. I mean that is the exact. They have the energy of a bat and the stubbornness and psychoticness and all the volatility of a gorilla, and I mean that's just how it is. Like Macho bit my toe today because I was trying to get him to eat and he wouldn't get off of my foot. Like he was sitting on my foot. And you want to call in? Let's do it. Let's see here. Hold on. So I tried to move him, but he wouldn't. Once I had to move him, then he bit my toe. Sucked. It actually hurt too. All right, this is for Joey. There you go, Joey. Let me know when you're there. Hey, bit my toe. It hurt. Like it hurt really bad too. Let's see. Got a hold of my big toe. He went for the big one too. Wasn't even the small one. Wasn't even the. It was the big one. Did I just turn on subscribers only? It's always on subscribers only. If you want to chat, you got to be a subscriber, at least a subscriber. I don't think that's too much to ask, is it? Maybe it is. You don't have to pay, you just have to be a subscriber. Well, I mean, not everybody you think Gray subscribes to my channel? I doubt it. Use tape roller on mine. I use tape on Otis. It was a crime of passion. Aww. Sure was. Yeah, I think it's fair, right? You have to be a subscriber, and you have to be a subscriber for how long? 5 minutes? I mean, come on. I wrap it up in cheese. They do have little pills now. They're like, or they have like little treats that you can shove the pill into, but that's what I do. It seems to help, or I just wrap it up in like a little piece of cheese. It's good to see you, Callie. Have a good night as well. Are you going to watch the trial tomorrow? I don't know who's testifying tomorrow, but it'll be interesting, I'm sure. Joey H, what's happening, brother?
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up, man? Hold on. Let me fix my.
Yeah, no problem. You're weird.
Oh,
too.
there it goes. Hold on, let me fix this here. All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
It's 3 in the morning. Good to see you. Hello, chat. And listen, this might be a little different because Bricado's not on. So, yeah.
It's all right. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
How are you, Josh? I love your hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Are you a weird sleeper?
Am I a weird sleeper? You know what it is, man? I go to sleep and I hope to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom so I can pick up on your show because I don't have a buzzer that, so that I wake up in the middle of the night. Thank God when I go get water, I see that you're on live and I go on your I watch your show.
Oh, that's nice. I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. You ever think about starting a show?
I would never start a show, man. I don't have the energy for that. I'm burnout, man. I've been doing this forensic crap for too long. I'm a burnout. I want to go fit when I retire. In about 2 or 3 years, I'm going to be fishing with a bunch of junkyard dogs. I love calling the lab because I tell my war stories because I'm never going to write a book. And when I retire, I'm going to fish and have a bunch of dogs. And I'm going to die in a trailer. You'll find me in a trailer, and you can go back on the old call-ins and write your own book. So yeah, keep that in mind. I mean that when I tell my war stories, it's because I'm not writing a book. I'm gonna do it on your podcast, and I'm gonna die in a trailer. But anyway, I want to die in the Pacific Northwest. I hate New York. I'm in New York, and I despise New York. I can't stand it.
Really?
Yeah,
You were born there, though, right?
I was born in the Bronx. I'm a Bronx guy. I was born in a psych unit. My mother was a schizophrenic. My mother was a psychiatric patient.
Interesting.
Yeah, listen, I'm eccentric, but I'm not crazy. Trust me, I'm not.
I don't think you're crazy.
I'm not crazy, but I work with crazy people very well because I was born around it. I'm a natural therapist. But anyway, listen, I'm calling in so we could talk about some stuff. Let's talk about some. You didn't hear that BTK's daughter lost custody of her children, Josh.
I did hear. Well, I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My damn thing. Can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah, I can. I had to change the input. They were saying there's a little echo. It's probably
Yeah.
But no, I did hear that she lost custody and that she was making threats about harming her children.
Yeah.
Or that her children were going to be harmed or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? I mean, what do you think? You think it's because she's got some DNA from that guy?
Well, I don't reckon she has it. She definitely has.
Well, I mean, do you think that it matters?
You know what I think it is, Josh? I think it's games that the lawyers play. I think that she's in family court. She's going through probably an ugly divorce. This is what bottom feeders lawyers do in family court. I think she probably said things that were no different than what anyone else says during an ugly divorce. And I think she'll probably regain custody of her children eventually. But it's unfortunate and it's devastating, and I think she's probably, from what I've seen on her interviews and stuff, she seems like a really, for what she's been through, she's very well put together. And I think this will resolve itself. But I think for now, it's a nightmare.
Well, her show on Netflix was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I watched that. But I also know that she has a brother who's pretty much stayed out of the spotlight completely.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, Josh. That's interesting.
Yeah, he stayed out of the spotlight completely. But it did seem that she was having some grandiose thoughts and feelings, and it's always a scary thing, really, to be honest with you.
It's scary because people think, her dad and stuff like that. How old is she, Josh?
I think she's probably close. I think she's about my age, maybe 36, 37.
So she's over 30. Yeah, it would have erupted already. She's good. She's not going to do anything crazy, Josh. If she'll talk a big talk. No. And the fact that the way she's interacted with her dad and her approach to her father is a very unique one. It's very unusual. So I think she'll be okay. I think she is okay. And this is a lot to carry. We're lucky she's not on Broadway doing some cartwheel thing like Knox is doing in Scotland.
Yeah,
She's good.
I got some crap about that the other night when we were talking about Amanda. Not that I care. I get crap about everything that I say. There's always somebody that either disagrees with me, and which is totally that's part kind of part of the show. But like, there's a huge uproar about this. I was just reading about it on the news yesterday. The people are pissed that she's seemingly cashing in on the death of Meredith.
She absolutely listen, bottom line is she absolutely is. Listen, put yourself in her shoes. I'll put myself in her shoes. If I did something, if I was involved in anything like that, I would not go on any kind of stage with props and do something like that. This person there's something wrong with her and her approach to this, and I've always had mixed feelings about her. Listen, I hate to say this, but the guy she married, he looks crazier than her, man.
Oh, I don't even know what's his name. I don't even know his name.
I don't know. Who cares? Just look at him, man. He's fucking nuts.
He does look weird.
He's nuts, bro. He's nuts.
For some reason, Joey, it says that we're buffering.
All right, I got you on the other TV, and I hear myself talking.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'm glad you let me call in, Josh. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In earnest. Josh, you're just absolutely great. What you do is really great. You're really you're as smart as the people you put on your show. These retired cops and psychologists, and I hope you continue to do what you're doing, Josh. And
I appreciate that, man.
I don't know if you want to go into the. You really don't have to, Josh. You can just keep doing this and let it grow because you have the capacity and the knowledge to seek, to really get credentials in this area. But I honestly believe I know that you already have the credentials. I've said this many times. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm sick and tired of it, but you have the credentials and just keep doing what you're doing because you're really good at it. And part of the reason these characters do these shows with you is because they're aware, even if it's on a subconscious level, that you're one of them. You really know your stuff, Josh, and you're really good at how you manage and organize your meetings with these people. Keep doing what you're doing. It really makes a difference and it matters, and you're really good at how you manage the panels.
Well, that's very sweet, and I appreciate it, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for you, and I know that when you call in, I know some of it's shtick, but I know that
it's shtick, man. People don't get it, man.
Well,
it's
some of it is
shtick.
Some of it is, but you also have very intelligent questions, and you think of them. But yeah, of course, a lot of it's shtick, and giving Dr. Gary hell is a staple, and it's fun. He gives it back though.
Let me tell you a little bit about this shtick with Bricado. So listen, look, I've been doing this for 30 years, like I keep blabbing it, but so Bricado is no different than people who share office spaces around me for 30 years. I work with a lot of psychologists, I call them alphabet soups, all these letters behind their name. But they're just people.
Sure.
And they have issues and they have lives just like anyone else. But for the show, I actually have I drive a Bronco, okay, and I drive it all over the 5 boroughs of New York and upstate. Right now, in New York, I've been around, and I get thoughts, and I listen to a lot of news and podcasts to get to stay informed, and then I'll scribble. I'll have pens and napkins, and I'll scribble ideas as I drive, and I'll throw them on the floor. And this is how I do the call-in shows. I just have all these napkins and ideas that from Scribble Scrabble, because I want to contribute, and I do like to stay engaged in the zeitgeist. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Koenig case on the 13th, which is in a day. I want to hear what happens with the guy from Hawaii.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh, you're great, man. And I love that you you do this sort of late night. You do this. This is another thing, right? This is kind of like we're a cult right now. This Lab After Dark is kind of like we're a cult over here at 3 a.m. with you, and it's an awesome thing.
Well, the cool part was that the reason I started Lab After Dark was sort of an outlet for myself, because the one thing that I do love to do is I love to podcast. I love to broadcast. I love interacting with, people.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't title any of these shows, because I never really
wow.
I don't want to draw people in because of the subject. I do that on the Lab, obviously, because we have specific topics that we talk about. But on here, I don't want to draw people in because of the topics. I want to draw people in because they just want to hear a show, and whatever I talk about is what I talk about. It could be anything. And I do talk about just ridiculous stuff sometimes, and sometimes sometimes it gets serious, but very rarely. And so I really appreciate when people just show up to listen to me talk and engage. So that's why I do this, and that's why I like it. And it continues to grow and grow. And the one thing that I've always thought about for me personally, I never thought that I was really that good at. I thought I was good at a lot of things. I didn't think I was ever great at anything. But I always thought that I was pretty good at broadcasting.
You are.
I've always thought that I was decent at it, and so it's the only thing that I've ever truly wanted to do since I was a little kid.
Wow.
And so that's why I do this. That's why I enjoy it. I started podcasting in 2015.
Wow.
And I didn't get on YouTube until about 2021, but I've been podcasting and broadcasting for years.
Yeah, I found you because I was obsessed with and I continue to be obsessed, unfortunately, with Kohberger, because I've dealt with a lot of these characters, but he's a phony, he's a fake, he's a imposter. So, but when I heard that Brucato, and I'll tell Dr. Gary Brucato. People get upset if I don't call him doctor. I'll call him doctor for you guys. He's Gary to me. This Dr. Gary Brucato, he did a very good analysis of who could have committed the crime, and I was obsessed. And I followed, and I found you through that analysis of who could have done this. Because you know what? Here again, Josh, it was so upsetting to me, that time period between giving and Christmas, when we didn't know who did these crimes, because it was so brutal, it was so bloody, it was so messy. There were four innocent victims, and they were such beautiful, these kids. I'm gonna, they're so beautiful. It's so horrible what this guy did. It's so evil, it's so evil what this guy did, and
full of life, just starting.
Oh my God! God bless the families who keep pushing the videos and the TikToks, because you see but anyway, when Brucato had sort of did what's called a psychosocial on who could have done this. Then I discovered you, and then I started following you, and I love what you do, and you're really naturally skilled at this, and your shit, Josh.
Well, I appreciate that.
You know your stuff, Josh. You
probably didn't follow me back then, but when Kohberger got arrested, the day that he got arrested, the night before, I had, or the day before, I had dropped a video. And I said, I believe, because everybody was going, we don't know who this guy is, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember doing a little bit of research, and I did a video, and I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that will remember the video. Maybe there are some people. I did a video saying that I believe that Koberger would be arrested soon. I didn't say Koberger, but I said whoever was responsible for the crime was going to be arrested soon. And I had the reason that I thought that was because in Idaho, specifically the area that they're in, they have a huge Crime Stoppers tip line.
Wow.
And Crime Stoppers was never involved. And I said the reason Crime Stoppers isn't involved is because they know who they're looking for. They know who they're after, or else Crime Stoppers would be offering huge rewards. Idaho has a huge Crime Stoppers program.
Interesting.
And I said the reason is because that they're zeroing in on somebody. The very next morning, Koberger was arrested, and I knew that they were after somebody very specific. I just didn't know who, but Gary, Dr. Gary nailed the profile. I mean, he called it, it was a very good profile that he laid out, but I knew for some reason, I said they're locked on when they brought out the car. I said, they're zeroing in, but Crime Stoppers is always involved when they don't know who they're looking for. They use Crime Stoppers every chance they could get. FBI, the local PD. Crime Stoppers is huge. It's a great program, and they never reached out to Crime Stoppers one time. I remember looking it up specifically. Yeah, and the very next morning he was arrested.
It was very
crazy.
It was crazy. It was very strange how that happened, Josh. I was actually, and I never go to it costs a lot of money to go over the bridge to go to Staten Island. But I went to Staten Island, and I was at the Staten Island Mall. And I was literally telling a friend, I can't believe that 4 kids were killed in a very brutal murder scene, and no one has been apprehended yet. Within 15 minutes, boom. While I'm at the Staten Island Mall, I'm notified on my phone that the person was arrested, and it was shocking to me. But at the same, here's the weird thing about this whole situation with Koberger's case is everyone, obviously, Steve Consalves, God bless him, I love him.
It's a great guy.
Gave him a big bear hug. He adamantly worked hard to pressure law enforcement to make an arrest. The problem is, as great as it is that they made this arrest on the accurate perpetrator of this crime, unfortunately, there are questions that need to be answered. And if they're not answered, we're going to have a lifetime, a generation or 2 or 3 generations of pro-burgers. And this is why legally he might not have the opportunity to have a trial, but I think he needs to have it to get this trial that he's requesting deviously. Because he committed these crimes, and there are questions that need to be answered. Josh, why is there not a bloody mess between the 2nd and 3rd floor? Josh, that's fucking weird. And I know that he was studious and he knew exactly how to clean up the mess. But let's answer these questions.
Well, what do you think? Why do you think that is?
I think this guy planned this out for a long time. And he had everything done perfectly, except, listen, I'm a musician, okay? I play drums every day. I'll never play in a band again. They wrote about me in books. But here's the thing, man, Murphy's Law. You can plan a show, a crime, anything perfectly, but you can't predict Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law to Koberger was Xana at 4 a.m. ordering that takeout and being awake at 4 in the morning and leaving that sheath with the touch not DNA, touch DNA. This was an abrupt moment that he never predicted would happen. He set up this perfect crime, like Crimes and Punishment that I brought up to Bricado, and this was the one thing, and that's why he's trying to cash in on what he calls the Ethan's hair that he has in his hand, which is really when his hand collapsed after the murder, it gathered the dust and the particles from. It's I don't even want to go into it. It's just horrible what happened to Ethan. He he made sure that Ethan was not a threat to him early on. But let me stop there. But go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that there are certain questions that would be answered by a trial, but also, do you really think? I mean, would there be a chance that this guy walks because there could be some sort of like, look what's going on with the Alex Murdaugh trial.
Yeah,
you know that's a huge risk.
Yeah,
that's what worries me. Because none of it's guaranteed. None of it is guaranteed.
I agree with you.
And jury trials are terrifying.
I agree with you. Is there a chance that he would walk because of a hung jury or whatever?
Or just like misconduct? Or...
I agree with you. There is a chance of that.
Always, right?
But let's put it on but we need to get this stuff on the record. But you are absolutely correct. Listen, the story is not going to end well for him. It's never ended up well for him in the history of his life.
Yeah.
He's had a very it's a very unfortunate, sad life this guy has made for himself.
Yeah,
he did it on himself. But what he did was the epitome of evil. He did not even do it, I feel, based on some kind of weird pathology. He did it out of some weird interest that he had in testing this out. And we'll see what happens with this. Yeah, the story ends. I don't think he's going to get out. What bothers me the most about this case at this point are the pro burgers, and I've superficially engaged myself with some of these pro burger.
Yeah, I know you have.
I have, and it's really strange. It's like politics, bro. You could show reality in their face, and they're just not. They're not going. No matter how good the food tastes, they're not gonna fucking eat the appetizers.
Never.
And it's really weird, man. It's really bizarre.
Well, that's the thing, is that even if he gets a trial and he's found guilty by a jury of 20, that's not going to matter to these people. It makes no difference. They'll find, it's like they harp on the one thing that they find strange and disregard all the other evidence. Just as look, this is a setup, dirty cops, things like that. It's constantly, there's constantly a reason why the evidence that shows that he's involved is no good. But then they bring up just like these little minutia details. Like I saw somebody hammering on about one time about the shoes, like in the room. They were talking about like there was a shoe on the floor, and they were like, "Why is that shoe like in that position?" And you're just like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It makes no sense. Like your arguments, And so you're not really going to be able to reason with people. Believe what they want to believe, and that's all there is to it. Very rarely do you. I mean, that's why you have jury selection, is because you have to sort of have open-minded people, and even then, people slip through the cracks and get on a jury, and it becomes 11-1. Like the whole Nicholas Cruz thing. When Nicholas Cruz shot up that school and killed all those kids and mangled all those other ones, and then 11 jurors voted to put him to death, and one guy said, "Nah, maybe not," and the one person outweighed the 11, and Nicholas Cruz now spends the rest of his life in prison, not on death row. And, so it's like, now, they actually changed that law now. Now I believe it's a 6-4 majority because of Nicholas Cruz. But can you?
What are your feelings about Nicholas Cruz, Josh?
I mean, he was a mental case, man. I mean, he was
I agree.
Big old crazy kid. Man. He's nuts.
A little different than Kohlberger, who has an autistic. He's on the spectrum, but he was. He apologized. Nicholas Cruz. Not that it matters to you, Josh, but he did apologize. Some people don't. A lot of people don't, and he's mentally ill.
Big time.
Big time mentally ill.
I would never dispute any of that.
I think the judge lost her career from this case. From her approach to the. If you know anything about her, she has a podcast now, by the way. But
yeah, she was gorgeous. Remember her?
She wasn't gorgeous. She is gorgeous. She's still gorgeous.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I'm a single guy.
I just remember she was really pretty.
She has to stay away from me. I'd not be single if she was. No. So anyway, yeah,
sure, I'm sure.
Gorgeous. But Nicholas Cruz was a mentally ill person. And how about Sandy Hook, which is right by not far from where I live. I've been around that facility. It's that. Going to that place it's just like going to the Pentagon. If you drive up to that place, it's holy crap.
Didn't they tear it down?
Oh my God. They have reinvented the security around that place. It's like when you get close to Sandy Hook, it's like you're getting close to the Pentagon, bro.
Yeah.
And for good reason. But if gun laws didn't become modified and changed after that crime, what are you expecting? I mean, holy cow! Like there couldn't be a worse. Listen, go ahead.
Wasn't that in 2012?
I don't know the year, but it was.
I remember driving in my car. I was driving back from the bank to work, and it came on the radio, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Horrible.
Could not believe it.
And the mother was complicit in that, and she got him gun lessons or something.
Didn't she get killed too?
He killed her. Yes, he did. Yeah. A nightmare. That I don't even feel right talking about because I have not experienced the loss of a child to gun violence like that. But it's a horrible thing, and
But see, I think all of these people that commit these crimes are on some level crazy. I very rarely, I mean, who's in their right mind that would do stuff like that? Honestly. So I always kind of go like, do I think Adam Lanza was crazy? And I don't mean that in the, like, I'm going, oh, that person's crazy. Like, I think he's actually a crazy person.
Define crazy.
I think there's some sort of mental illness, and that that where they don't value the price of life.
Yeah.
And there's some sort of void there, and they become very, very dangerous people. And that doesn't absolve them, to me, of responsibility.
Agree.
I mean, it's like, look, you can't help people that don't, tell you that they're having these issues. But even if you do, there's only so much legally people can do. There's only legally so much, doctors and psychiatrists and things like that can do. I mean, people walk out of mental institutions or put themselves on a, I'm checking myself in, but they can check themselves out. Or then there's a 72-hour rule or whatever. There's a lot of red tape, and people fall through the cracks. But I mean, a lot of these kids they were abused as children, and they end up taking it out in society. I mean, look at Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. These two kids, they were, the Columbine shooters. They ended up being two of the, I guess, most prolific mass murderers ever, and they inspired
Mm-hmm.
generations of this stuff.
Yeah.
They, to this day, there are people, you know, all Cruz
Sure.
and Lanza and all these guys, Dylan Roof, all these guys thought these are great people, or these are, you know, are idols. And I believe Eric Harris was imbalanced and that he was medicated, and you know, I believe he was taking an SSR or whatever it is called.
Mhm.
And people blamed the SSR on the murder, but you know,
Mm.
I just don't.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I just don't think that it absolves you of your crimes. I personally do not believe that at all.
Mm.
At all. So that's just my thoughts, you know.
Sure.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do with these people? What would you do?
What the system does is they put them in what someone asked earlier. They put in what's called forensic hospitals. So there's something called not guilty by reason of insanity, which really means not guilty because of of mental illness, debility. And what happens is it's people don't know, but forensic prisons are prisons. They're no different than any other prison. The Silence of the Lambs movie, Hannibal Lecter was an aberration on film of what a forensic facility is. It would, in that movie they portrayed it as a dungeon with these jail cells and whatever. But no, what it really is it's a lockdown facility where staff do get injured a lot from psychoses, but eventually the person can get downgraded to outpatient facilities and then to the community, and they can go out there and live. What was your initial question, Josh?
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, what do you do with
What do you
people that are, you know, that are legitimately crazy? I mean, they are. I fully believe
Okay.
Nicholas Cruz is a crazy. Was a crazy.
So
kid.
what do you so I can tell you what the system does with them. So what the system does with them is there was a case that happened actually in New York, where a woman was pushed in front of a subway system, and they created a law where Kendra's law. Kendra Webdale was her name, Webdale, and they created a law where the system had to create a system where people who had criminal histories and a history of mental illness had to be monitored on a weekly basis. And because of Kendra Webdale's murder, pushed in front of a subway train, they had to, I think his name was Andrew something Stein. You guys can Google it up. And because of that, they had to monitor on a weekly basis that clients who were released into the community, that they went to their programs, that they took their medication and stuff like that. And that's the best that can be done with forensic clients. Josh, people don't understand that forensic prison is like any other prison. It's a prison, and you have to go through 3 doorways to get into that facility. Okay,
Yeah.
but when you're in there, it's up to the psychiatrist, the doctor, and the treatment team to decide when you are able and ready to downgrade to be released into the. And a while back, I made a call to your call-in show with Bricado about a person named Juan Gonzalez. He was what it was called the Staten Island Slayer, and he went on the Staten Island ferry and he killed and dismembered many people with a samurai sword on the Staten Island ferry. And he ended up, after those murders, getting downgraded into the community, and finally being released to his own apartment. I know this because I'm gonna stop with that.
Sure.
Okay. But Bricado knew about this particular case, and so yeah, so be it.
So what do you think
Let me
about like this, like this Clancy lady? Is that where she belongs?
honestly, Josh, she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I
She
know.
clearly, Josh, the bottom line is she clearly was out of her mind when this happened. I think you're asking me. I can only tell you
I'm listening.
my my opinion. My opinion is she merits a forensic incarceration. And if they downgrade her in the future, she will be downgraded to the community under supervision. But this is you don't throw yourself out of a window and end up in a wheelchair unless you're not effing crazy. You're not literally in a crazy state. This is not a Chris Watts story. Okay. This is a horrible, horrible story. And I am not equipped to opine about this right now. But I will tell you that from what I hear, uh, a forensic incarceration makes sense, and her ability in the future to be discharged into the community under supervision makes sense to me. She does not sound like an evil person. Her husband, although he remarried, he supports her. So yeah, that's what. Listen, this is just me. I can get more haters. I don't care. This is where I stand. I think she belongs in a forensic facility and let her work her way down into the community. It's a very devastating, horrible story, and I understand what you're saying, Josh. Her children were murdered. I get it. I hear you. Um, but um, I think she succumbed to her mental. My mother tried to burn my apartment down, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't live. I never lived in a place for more than 1 year because my mother was doing crazy shit. She tried to burn my house down, my apartment down. So I know what this is like.
Tried to burn your personal
She came to burn my apartment down.
with you inside of it.
I was inside of it. My father, my sister were sitting there contributing to it, and I'm standing up like you. You would have done the same thing. And I'm like, you guys are fucking insane. What are you? She was having, she had these little toy pigs, and she was like, this little piggy is whatever, and yeah, and they locked her up, and my father came to me, and my father was a tough guy, and I sound like a tough guy, but I'm not. I'm actually a sensitive guy. But my father came to me about a day or two later, crying, and he fell into my arms, crying that he had to um, institutionalize her, which was something we did every year. And I remember that day like it was the back of my hand. I remember being strong for him that day. And the point I'm making is I'm not making a point. Listen, I didn't cry. I hugged him. I told him everything, and everything was okay. And they moved to Ohio, and I moved elsewhere. And listen, mental illness and mental health is a real thing. That's my point.
No question.
Josh.
No question.
And Clancy, she's in a wheelchair, and what she did on paper is evil, but put her in a mental health facility. I'm sorry, Josh. Maybe you won't agree with you, and I respect you for not agreeing with me. I love you. I respect you for not agreeing with. My opinion is put her in a forensic facility, let her get better, and let her after many years work her way into the community. She will never fully forgive herself for these crimes, which is very different than Chris Watts. And I'll shut up. Let me hear what you have to say.
Well, but the one thing that I don't understand, if it's different than Chris Watts, is, I mean, wouldn't you agree that Chris Watts has that there was something wrong with Chris Watts too?
Wow.
I mean, how could you how could any, you know, I think there's something wrong with Lindsay as well. Obviously, nobody does this stuff in their right mind. Okay. I don't think
Yeah.
Chris Watts was in his right mind either when
Yeah.
he did it. But what I'm saying is, what it, you know, I get it. You know, people want to say because she was the mother, and mothers rarely do things like this, and that it postpartum psychosis, and she tried to get help for certain things, but she was never diagnosed with anything by all these physicians. But then you have Chris Watts as well doing, you know, annihilating their family. And that what she is, she's a family annihilator by definition. So, is it any different that Chris Watts could? I'm sure they have diagnosed Chris Watts with something, and same thing with Lindsay.
How old was remind me how old was Chris Watts when this happened?
I think he was mid-30s.
Mid. Can you Google it?
Yeah,
Find out
if
how
you-
old how old was he?
He's getting remarried too.
I know that. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
It actually is good for him. It'll be good for him. It'll be good for us.
So he was 33 when he was,
Okay.
and he's now
Okay.
he's my age. He's 40.
40. Okay. What's the question again?
Like you know, if he was diagnosed with something, like why isn't he in a? I mean, obviously I think you have to be mental to do these things.
He needs to be punished for his crime. Bottom line. 33. So this happened in his late 20s, probably. So he knows better. And I don't think this was some kind of eruption of some kind of consistent mental illness. I think
You think it was plotted and planned?
I think he was like an addict living for the moment. He was very into whoever the hell he was having this affair with, and he was sick and tired of his significant other, and he did this impulsively. Listen, him killing his wife is absolutely horrendous.
No question.
But the children taking the drive. I went to the house when I went to Stanley Hotel. I told you guys, and it's a drive. It's a 40-minute drive from there, and the drive he did to the oil facility where he worked with the children. It's about a 40-minute drive at least. It's a drive, and you should know better. And for you to do that, yeah, he needs to be punished for his crime. And his crime is not completely, in my opinion, based on mental illness. I think his crime is built on narcissism and selfishness, and stuff I don't know. I can't opine about because it's freaking bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
That the children loved him. So I think they said things to him before he threw them in the well. This is horrendous. What he did is it's evil in definition, but to someone like him, he is able to split up the pie in his brain and extradite that. But it's very weird what he did. What he did, it needs to be punished. He needs to, but as far as him, Josh, getting married in prison, this is not so bad because what this does is he's not going to get out of prison.
No, he's never getting out.
And while he's in prison, he's going to live a healthy social life. And this is going to be good for us. So the bottom line is, while he's getting married in prison, some people get upset about this. but it's a good thing because this wife is going to inspire this guy to do good things socially. So this is going to be a good thing overall. He's not getting out. If he was getting out, I would be telling a different story. He's an he's more of an anomaly than Bundy, because Bundy, if you really take a good look at Bundy, you could tell this guy was a scumbag. This guy not so much. This guy truly had people. He had me fooled. He came across as a good guy.
He did.
As a really good
I
guy.
don't think he had ever been in trouble one time.
Yeah.
You know, until then he, you know, commits this awful family annihilation. But does he deserve to live that life though? That's my point. I mean,
what do you mean? What do you explain? What do you mean by that?
I mean, does he deserve happiness?
What, Josh? Why not? Why not, Josh?
Because he took
Josh,
it.
Locked up, Josh.
Yeah.
Locked up, Josh. Go ahead.
Well,
Keep that in mind. Under restriction. Go ahead.
you think that, but you think that he deserves happiness, even locked up?
Is that happiness, Josh?
I don't know. It sounds like he's pretty happy.
It's not, Josh. It's not, bro. I had to pat frisk people every time they went to the yard for exercise. It's not a happy life.
But
bro.
he spent Christmas Day with this girlfriend.
And
he's probably pretty happy during that time.
I spent the Christmas Day by myself. I was freaking happy. I mean, no, that doesn't mean anything. No, it doesn't mean anything, Josh.
You think so?
No, I know so. No.
Well,
this guy goes to bed thinking about his children that he murdered. I think he loved his kids. I really do think he loved his kids. And I think that you can love somebody and do awful things to them still. No question. That's
no
interesting.
Question. You know, when I went to when I was a little kid and I was going to therapy, and I asked the therapist one time. I asked her flat out. And it's in the transcripts. It was one of my first visits. I was very, very young, and I said to her, my dad said that he loved my mom, and he killed her. My dad said that he loves me. Does that mean he's going to kill me too? You can love people and do horrible things to them still. Doesn't matter, because overall the love wasn't enough to keep them from harming the person. There's not enough love, you know, your selfishness, your impulse control, all of that is overwhelmed by, or you're so overwhelmed that love isn't enough to stop people from doing awful things. Like my whole thing with my children is that all I've ever wanted to do was protect them. That's my number one goal in life. Whether they love me or not, they could hate my guts, and I would throw myself in front of a bus.
I love that about you, John.
To save them.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to respect me. But my goal
I love that about you.
Is to take care of them.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he can say that, yeah, I'm sure on some level he loved his kids, but it wasn't enough. He didn't love them enough to let them live their lives. They deserve to live just as much as he did. And he took that from them. So I'm sure he has moments of happiness. I'm sure he has moments of joy. I'm sure he likes eating oatmeal pies. And I'm sure that his kids loved chocolate milk and loved to color and things like that. And that I'm sure they loved their dad. But, you know, there's a difference. There's a fine line between, you know, love and madness in this case. And what he did was it's as awful as anything that you can imagine. But
here you are, Josh.
Yeah, here I am, but that's not everybody.
But you're an amazing person.
I try to be.
You
I don't think
no, you are.
I try to.
You
I
are.
try to be a good person.
You are. You
Well,
are.
I appreciate that. I don't think of myself as that great of a person, but I want to be.
You matter, Josh. So once in a while I'll call in.
Sure.
Josh, I love you. I
Love you
love
too,
your
Joey.
I love your show. I love your shows, plural.
Appreciate it.
And I'll get off now. And
All right. It was a good conversation. I love talking to you.
How do I end this?
can
When
draw.
when is your next live in with Brucato?
I think Friday.
All right, so I'll show up. I'll show up.
Sounds
I'll
good to
show
me.
up. I have a shtick. For the night. I have it all written on napkins, on brown napkins from McDonald's.
What do you get at McDonald's? What's your order?
I get Diet Cokes with extra. I eat ice, man. I'm an ice eater, man.
Really? You don't eat anything? You don't like get a burger?
I
or
eat
anything?
ice, man. That shit. Well, listen, that shit. When you fucking reheat it, it turns into rock, and then you learn the preservatives and shit. And yeah, listen. I love you. I love the chat. God bless you. I'll see
awesome,
you
brother.
whenever the hell you show up with Brucato, because
Sounds good.
I like to pull Brucato strings because I work with a lot of Alphabet City people with a lot of letters behind their name. I'm not impressed. I love you. Bye.
All right. Take it easy, brother. Bye-bye. Good old Joey. Great call. Great talk. Enjoy having him on. And well, that'll be it for me tonight too. A little over 2 hours here. And we'll catch you all tomorrow on the next one. You guys are always awesome. Thank you for being here. And we'll catch you on the next one. Hit that like button for me. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lab After Dark is starting shortly. Lab After Dark is starting soon. After Dark is starting soon.
Right.
Well, you open that Pandora's door.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever, you know.
What's the point in causing the eruption together?
Lab After Dark starts now.